Alright, so I'm Sovereign Sage and I'm going to be covering Sasuke's moveset. So, usually what I do with these videos is I cover all of their basic moves as well as their R2s and as well as their skill revision. So this is Sumeragi and you only get skill revisions from the Tenka Metal Shop. They are not unlockable in the game any other way. You actually have to buy them, and they do not exist in Vanilla 4. They only exist here. So aside from that, we're gonna go ahead and get into this. So his Giga Basara title is Monkey Dance, a group of monkeys, but his character image phrase, in English, I believe it is swiftly riding the azure sky. And in Japanese, I believe it is Shoten Shikku, if I said that correctly. And it looks something like this. So you can see it right there, swiftly riding the azure sky. And then his Giga Basara artwork image is a monkey dance, which is a group of monkeys on the left. That's what his artwork image is. And his weapon is a Shuriken. His element is darkness. And his Seiyuu, his voice actor, is Koyasu Takehito. So Takehito, I believe, is his first name. Koyasu is his last name, I believe. So his hold square. So each character has an 8-string square attack. I've always said this. Basically, if you just tap the square button 8 times, they have a combo that they do. So his personal inscription is called Phantom Ninja. Basically, what that does is he'll get shadow clones that will accompany him on the left and right sides based on if he is dashing, jumping, or evading. I don't think I have it, because normally when you would go left to right like this, he would get shadow clones that will accompany him. They'll move to the left or to the right, whichever direction you're moving in, and they will attack enemies, but I actually don't have it. Unfortunately, I don't. The skill revision is this. It goes into the ground and he comes back out, and then you can do like some attacks and stuff. So his 8-string combo with the square button is something like this. And then when he throws the shuriken is where it finishes. So if you just tap it 8 times, yeah. So also my camera joystick is semi-broken. It moves slowly to the left like this. It does it all the time, no matter what game I'm playing, because the controller is broken. So every once in a while it'll move. It kind of helps me when I'm doing videos like this, but it's very annoying otherwise. So if we hold square, he kind of gets like shadow clones that will appear based on if you hold it. But because there's not enemies near me, I can't really show that off too well. So his hold square is Shadow Leap, so Kagerou. It's really nice when I get it to work. Basically, if you hold it, he gets like a bunch of shadow clones that'll appear and that will attack the enemy. I'll show that better once I get back onto the actual stage. So his triangle move, so it's called Shadow Submerge technique. So I believe it is Kagemoguri no Jutsu. So, triangle. Again, he summons a shadow clone into the ground, which will knock an enemy into the air. And when he leaps into the air, you can like attack them and stuff like that. That's what basically a lot of his attacks are based on, is revolving around shadows and stuff, because he's a ninja. And I'm not saying that sarcastically at all. So his directional plus triangle is Shadow Pursuit technique. So it's Kagerou no Jutsu. So it's like this, where he sends shadow clones that will, so if you move forward and hit triangle, he gets shadow clones that'll appear. So that's basically what his personal inscription does as well. I don't have it unlocked, unfortunately, so I can't show that off. I do have a video where I covered this on my PS3 version showing that, but I have my PS3 Sumeragi playlist currently locked off right now. And I said why when I did my Motonari moveset video, so if you want to know why, you would have to go see that video. I won't be unlocking that playlist until sometime next year. I currently have it locked off. So his R1, which is called Shadow Dance technique, He's kind of like Kasuga, how hers are always have like a name that's repeated in every attack. So you can see where the no symbol is, like the little circle. That's the kanji for no, so it's like no. So technique, it's like no technique, no technique, no meaning like of. So his R1, which is Kagemai no Jutsu, that's where the no symbol comes from. It's Kagemai no Jutsu. So that is again the shadow technique. So his R1 is this, where he summons a circle on the ground, and it does that. It finished awkwardly because I'm out of bounds, and I go up into the air. It throws a circle onto the ground like this. He summons shadow clones, and then he'll come up and then finish it. So it basically serves as like a launcher type move if you have enemies near you, and that's what it does. So L1 plus triangle is cross strike technique. So this one, I'm probably gonna butcher the hell out of this name. It's no jutsu again, but it's Uchiwatashi no jutsu. So L1 plus triangle is that, and then it does the shadow clones, and then he'll come back down. So if you hold it though, then he does that. But if you just push it once, he doesn't finish it. He just throws them forward. But if you actually hold it down, then he finishes the whole move. It doesn't tell you that you have to hold it down. Normally with L1 plus triangles, you don't have to hold them, depending. But for him, you actually do have to hold it. You have to hold it the whole time. So that's very weird. I didn't realize I had to hold it. That's what he said. So back onto his R2s now. So R2s are special skills that each character has. They have up to 3. Normally they would only have like 1 or something. At least they did it Samurai Heroes. You could only have 1 at a time. You had 3, but you could only carry 1 with you in the battle. You could only take 1. But here in Sumeragi, you have all 3 at your disposal. So his first one is Disorienting Shadow Technique. So I believe it's Genei no Jutsu. And it's that one, kind of like, it's almost like the other one he has. So he just summons a circle and then does a bunch of shadow clone stuff and then finishes it like that. So it's very, very similar to his R1. It's very similar to it, but it's not the same. So his second one, I believe, is Cicada technique, which is Utsusemi no Jutsu. So basically he'll spin his shuriken above his head, and when he gets hit, he'll kind of do like a grab move, and it's basically an Izuna drop. It's like Ryu Hayabusa's Izuna drop. That's basically what it is. So if he gets hit when you're spinning this like this, he'll do an Izuna drop to whoever hits him, basically. So his third and final R2 is Raging Monkey technique. So I believe it's Abaremashira no Jutsu. And this one is weird. So it summons his shurikens in front of him, and you can move them to the left and to the right like this. Then you can hit the square button to launch it forward. So you can use the left joystick to move it around. You can go forward to left and side, but if you want to make him go down or up, if you hit the square button, he finishes it, by the way. If you let it sit for too long, he'll just finish it, which is what that was. But if you hit the square button, you can actually swing it and swing it up and swing it down based on moving the left joystick while hitting square. And then triangle cancels it into his triangle move. So the only button you can hit when this R2 is active is the square button. So you can launch it to the left or to the right or up or down, and you control it the whole time, or you can just cancel. So that's what it is when it cancels. So if you launch it by accident, if you hit R2 again, it'll cancel it and he'll finish it like that. That's basically what it is. So if I get back onto the stage here, I can show you a couple of those moves a little better, because you have to be near an enemy in order for them to actually go off. You can't really do them out of bounds. They don't work too well. So currently right now, this is Osaka Castle. We're up against Masamune and Yukimura. However, I don't think I can reach them, even if I were to glitch out of bounds like I know I'm going to do. With some of these stages, when you break out of bounds like this, you can actually reach certain boss enemies and break them out of their locations. I call them ghost bosses because they turn into a ghost. Even though it says they're in front of you, you can't actually see them. Because the way this game works is character models will spawn in after a certain cutscene plays, and if a cutscene does not play out correctly, then the character that is supposed to be in that area on that stage will not actually appear until that cutscene loads and allows them to load in. So if a cutscene doesn't play, they're not actually there. So this is the cutscene that you would get when you encounter them, but if I skip it, they're not actually here, see? It says that they are. Currently, right now, they are in what I call a ghost form. So they get to follow you around the stage in a ghost-like form. They cannot attack you. You can't even see them, but they are following you around. So the only thing I have left to really show would be a solo Basara. That sun is so bright. The way he's holding his weapons up through it, you can actually see the rays. So this is what his solo Basara is. He basically just spins around like this fairly quickly. And it's a solo Basara. I'm a bomber, woo! So that's basically all of Sasuke's moves. Also, he's like Kasuga, so if you jump and you hit the X button again, he'll hover with the bird, which is known as his familiar. It's kind of like, I think it's actually a raven, I believe. I wanted to say crow, but I don't think that's correct. So him and a few other characters, Matsu can do it as well. She has an animal guardian thing, that a bird. I wanted to call it Taromaru, but I think it's the name of the wolf or the bear. I forget. Each one of her animals has a name. I remember Taromaru. I think Taromaru is the bird. So they're like 3 of the only characters in the game that actually can do something like that, where if you jump with X and then hit the X button again, it'll allow them to kind of glide. Not every character in the game has a move like that. The only ones that do is Kasuga, Sasuke, and I believe Matsu. They're the only ones that have a move that allows you to glide. So in order for me to finish this stage correctly, I'm going to actually have to go around and do it. Some of the stages you can break it to where you can meet the boss early and defeat them without actually completing the whole stage. However, you cannot do this for every stage. Only certain stages are set up in the way to where you can. This is not one of them. So I actually am going to have to finish it. It gives me a good reason to show off some of his moves. So I believe that one again where I was talking about him spinning the shuriken above his head. So if somebody hits me, he kind of does this and then he Izuna drops them. Kojiro's ruining it. So he drops them and then he spins them back down. So it's basically an Izuna drop though. For main bosses, it's also an insta-kill move. So if they hit you while you're doing this and you grab them and spin them, it will insta-kill them automatically. So that's kind of a neat trick. So I believe it was that one and his R1 I needed to show a little more properly. So let's see if I can get it to work on Kojiro here. He's moving a little too fast though. He doesn't care about me, obviously. So nope. Okay, now he cares about me. So this is his R1. You can't really see it too well because it's really dark here. I can't even see what I'm doing at all. Let me see if I can get him to hit me while I'm doing this. There we go. Then I can grab him and then spin drop him and it's an insta-death. So even though he's a main character, it'll own the shit out of him. It's actually fairly nice. You can kill main characters with that move, just that move alone. Some people might see that as cheaterish. I think it's just really effective. So if you don't want to fight somebody legitimately, he's gonna drop them. Just be like, get out of my way. And they turned me into a Bomberman. Oh no. So as you can see on the mini-map in the center there, you see the little yellow helmet that's moving down the center? I believe that is Yukimura. Or, no, Masamune. Yukimura is symbolized by the red helmet. The other little tiny red helmet on the bottom right of the map is actually Sasuke. So, I'm going to be technically fighting myself here. It's going to be ridiculous. So once you defeat Kojiro, Masamune will come right for you immediately, because that's like his sidekick man. So it's the same thing with Yukimura. Had I killed Sasuke first, he would have been coming after me. That terrible English though. That Cayman. Cayman is not a word. Kamen in Japanese means mask. So kamen, but that's, you don't say it Cayman because it's not spelt with a C. It's spelt with a K. Kamen. Kamen is mask. So I don't know why I was thinking about that. So I need to go get him on the other side. But I claimed all of the bases, so the main gate should open now. But even so, if you defeat their sidekicks, so Masamune has Kojiro Katakura, and Yukimura has Sasuke, obviously. So that's who they are affiliated with on this stage. So now that I broke that gate open, Sasuke will disappear, and Masamune should be right there. So let me see if I can Izuna drop him. If he so would attack me, there we go. And then I can grab him, and then I can Izuna drop him, and Yukimura would be right there. So I broke them out of their boss location. They're not supposed to come down here. You're not even supposed to be able to fight them here. But I did a ghost boss break where I caused their cutscene. He's just glitching out, man. Or I caused the cutscene that gets them to load in. I activated it early, so by doing that, they can run around the map. I think it's actually fun to break main character bosses out of their boss locations. You can get them to follow you around. That is Creeper. And he's like, let me come out of the ground, let me fight with you without a sound. So now you get to fight both of them. So Sasuke is running down behind me. So, Izuna dropped my master, Lord. Oh dear. Sorry, Yukimura-sama. Gomenasai. Where did the other me go? Oh, he's trying to do the ninja technique. Where did he go? Actually, what? The other me disappeared. He pieced out. So basically, depending on how you do that stage, I know I'm not really doing a stage cover video, but if you defeat their main boss's sidekick, like I killed Kojiro first, so Masamune came for me immediately. However, Sasuke, I didn't even have a chance to encounter him, so if you leave their sidekick alive, one of the sidekicks, like I didn't encounter Sasuke at all, so when I went to go fight Yukimura, then Sasuke reappeared. And then you get to fight them both. And it's the same way, had I went after Sasuke first, then I would have had to have fought in Masamune and Kojiro at the same time. So it all really depends on how you do that stage that you get that to happen. In case somebody wanted to know. That's why Sasuke appeared out of the ground like that, because he was like, let me fight with you. That's all of Sasuke's main attacks, so they are fairly simple. They're nothing too complicated. So as for his outfits, though, this is an alternate outfit. This is his second unlockable outfit, so if you complete his Sengoku creation or drama route, he does not have an anime route, but if you cover the drama or Sengoku creation routes, you'll automatically unlock this. It's very weird, makes him look weird. This outfit here is a Tenka Metal outfit. I can't remember what it is called right now. I would have to look it up. It kind of makes him look all Christmas-ish. So this is this, and then my joystick needs to stop. I told you it's broken, it moves by itself. This is actually another Tenka outfit. So basically, it's like a disguise. All it does is give him a mask, which is why I was talking about Kamen earlier. It just gives him like a fox mask. It's cool, I guess. That's all that does. So as for his weapon names, so his default weapon, I believe for Sasuke, is called Koga Shuriken, and it's just his default weapon, which is this. So, the one that I'm using now, let me see if I can read this kanji. I'm having to squint. I believe this one is Muyuka, which is basically Ashoka tree. Ashoka tree. Okay. This one here, though. Let me see the kanji. Is that right? I believe it's Kinin Shuriken, which is Demon Ninja Shuriken. That's what it translates into. So that one's pretty neat. And then this is his joke weapon. So this is Koga Mendokoro Sarutobi, which is his last name. So basically it's Koga Noodle Joint Sarutobi has his last name in it. It's actually just a joke weapon. So this one here is Koga Shuriken Gold, and then Koga Shuriken Unsigned, which it turns his default weapon green. This one here, I believe, is Utsusemi, which is Great Whirlwind, and that's why it's shaped like that. It looks like wind spinning. So that's what that's supposed to be. And the one I use, which is this one, is Muyuka Ashoka Tree. So Muyuuka tree. So Ashoka tree. I think that's what it translates into in English. It's Ashoka tree. And in Japanese, I believe it's Muyuka. So that's weird. Oh, okay. So that's the one I use. My right joystick that controls the camera and moves characters in this game, my right joystick on my controller, it is very broken. I don't even know how it got like this. I really don't know. Just one day it started doing it. So it turns to the left by itself. Sometimes it's fast, sometimes it turns slowly. I can't really fix that. I thought I was going to be getting a new controller last month and I didn't. I thought I was going to get one this month and I didn't. So I might get one next month, but there's no guarantees on that either. Just haven't had the money for it, and I was going to get one from a pawn shop actually, because I don't got no $50 for a brand new one. That's ridiculous. So unfortunately for me, I would have had to get one from a pawn shop, which would have already been used by someone else, but I got to take my chances. As long as it works better than this one, then I kind of don't care. But for right now, it's kind of difficult to do videos. That's why I kind of really haven't. I've been only uploading short videos because that joystick, it acts up really bad at certain intervals, and I can't really control it. There's times where it doesn't act up at all, and then there's times where it just moves constantly, and I have to fight it not to. That's what happened. Every controller I've ever had has done this to me. Even on my PS3, I've gone through like 3 or 4 controllers on my PS3. I have one that's a wired one that works, but I have 3 other controllers for my PS3 that all broke on me. And this is my second one, so now I would have to get another one for the PS4, which would be my third one as well. I'm not really hard on my controllers, but for some reason for me, controllers only ever last me about a year to 2 years if I'm lucky. 3 years if I'm very lucky, which is with my first PS3 controller. This is my second one that I got maybe about almost a year ago now. So I swear it's like every year I need a new one. They just don't last me very well. It's also because the Bluetooth chip on the PS4 controllers burns out on me, probably because I don't use it a lot, but I play more than most people do, so that's another reason why the controller is going out, because I actually have that temporarily to disable. I have my controller set up to be read by cord, by wire, and I think it's also because the Bluetooth chip is going out. It's not being it's being read wirelessly, but not fully, if you get my meaning. I don't know if that makes sense. So if I had it set up the other way, it probably would have died on me. My other controller did that. Everything on the controller works except for the left joystick. All the other buttons work except for the left joystick does not move. You can click it and move it, and it does not select anything at all. That's what happened to my old PS4 controller. I still have it, but it doesn't work. Like, everything works except for the joystick. On this one, everything works, but my right camera joystick acts a little funny. Sometimes my options button, you'll click it and it doesn't move correctly. Like, you have to double click it. So that's kind of going out too. Aside from that, that's basically everything I can tell you about Sasuke, though. He is fairly easy to use, though. He is one of my favorites as well. So hopefully I've taught you something about him. Probably not, though. There wasn't really a whole lot for me to cover there, really. There wasn't really a whole lot to say. I do like that Izuna drop, though. It's not what it's called, but that's basically what it is. So it's the Utsusemi no Jutsu, so it's Cicada technique. I don't know what's up with that. It's in English. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Maybe it's Cicada. Like it's Cicada. So Cicada or Kaikada. It's Cicada. I'm pretty sure. Maybe I did translate it wrong. I'm pretty sure I didn't though. That's what that is called. And it's a just sweet, sweet Izuna drop. Um, well, I think I said all I needed to. Unfortunately, I couldn't show you what his skill revision does. Not skill revision, his freaking personal inscription. All it does is add shadow clones. It's not very, like, it's not like you're missing out on anything if you couldn't see it. That's really all it does do. It just summons little shadow clones that accompany his attacks. But hopefully I taught you something. Maybe not. Most of his attacks can be used in midair as well. I believe his R1 can. Maybe I'm wrong. In his taunt, I did it at the very beginning of the video. It's where he just sits, kind of sits like awkwardly and just does the whole neck turn thing. That's what his taunt is. I was doing it at the start of the video. I always show character taunts as well. There's nothing really I could say out of all the ninjas, like Sasuke, and Kasuga, and Kotaro. Kasuga's probably my favorite. But between Kotaro and Sasuke, Kotaro's moves are a little faster. But I do like Sasuke a lot, so it's probably almost a tie between them both. But if I had to choose one ninja, it would be Kasuga for sure. I like a lot of her moves as well. They're faster and just overall better to watch. That's really all I can say though. I actually already did a video covering her as well. If you haven't seen that, I do have it. But again, I'm Sovereign Sage. Thanks for watching if you did. And I will see you later.